Good morning. Happy Thursday. All right, so today is St. Patrick's Day. So I have a themed workout for us. So we're going to be spelling out CLOVER. So I'll go ahead and get right into that. We only always need one set of dumbbells. I recommend two just so that you can go up or down. So we're going to start off with our C. We're going to do some bicep curls into hammer curls. So for that, we're going to have our hands facing forward, curl up, back down, and then switching over, palms face each other, up and down. So we're doing a straight up curl, so palms forward, and then turning your hands in, palms face each other, coming up and back down. So we're going to feel that working our biceps there. And then for our L, we're going to do some lateral raises. So we're going to have our palms facing behind us, hands on the outside of the legs, driving the arms up until we're parallel and back down. So we want those elbows to be the driver of the movement, pinkies towards the ceiling and back down. So that's going to be our L. And then for the O, we're going to do overhead presses. So hands right above those shoulders, coming up and back down. So just do a regular overhead press there. And then for the V, we're going to get on the ground and do some V-ups. So we're going to be on the ground. This is going to be a great core workout here. We're going to extend those arms and legs, press that belly button into the ground, come up, touch the toes, and straighten back out. That one feels a little weird on my neck, so we can always switch that one up if it also feels weird for you and just do these V-ups instead. So we'll kind of play that one by ear, but that definitely did not feel so good on my neck. Okay, next up we have goblet squats. For the E though, we're going to do eccentric, so nice and slow. So we're going to do 3 seconds down. So we're going to hold the dumbbell right underneath our chin, feet hip width apart. 1, 2, 3. Standing back up. So nice and slow, knees over the second toe, push your ground away and stand back up. So that's going to be our E. And then finally finishing out CLOVER with the R, we're going to do a Romanian deadlifts, our fave. And we're going to do 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. So this is going to be nice and slow. So we're going to bring the butt to belly button, lock it in with the core, go down 1, 2, 3, and then push the ground away 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be the full workout here. So we're going to work 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest or transition time. We're going to go through 3 rounds. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick warm up. We're just going to do one movement here. We're going to just do the world's greatest stretch. It's going to stretch everything out for us, get us nice and ready to go. So starting at the top of our space here, we're going to interlace the fingers, grab onto the right knee, pull the right knee towards the chest. Nice big deep belly breath. And we're going to exhale, stepping back into a reverse lunge. Hands on the inside of our front foot. And keeping that back leg nice and straight. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, rotating towards that front leg. So left leg is in the front, left arm coming up towards the ceiling. Gazing past our thumb, getting some rotation through our spine, through our neck. We're going to take a nice big deep belly breath. And we're exhaling, planting the hand on the outside of the front foot, pushing ourselves up into a nice hamstring stretch. So hips towards the ceiling, front leg nice and straight. Getting a nice stretch through the back of the leg. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale and bring our feet together and stand on up. Wonderful. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So interlace the fingers, grab onto the left knee, pull the left knee towards the chest. Nice big deep breath. And we're going to exhale, stepping back into our reverse lunge. Hands on the inside of the front foot. So keeping that back leg nice and straight. That's what's going to open up those hips for us. Nice big deep belly breath. And we're exhaling, opening up towards the front leg. So this is the right leg this time. So right hand towards the ceiling, gazing past that thumb, getting that rotation through the neck. Nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, planting that hand on the outside of our front foot. Push those hips up into a nice hamstring stretch. Getting that nice stretch through the legs. And we're going to take a nice big deep breath. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our feet together and stand on up. Perfect. I love that stretch. It really just gets everything nice and stretched out. So we are ready to go. So we're going to start off with our curl. So the bicep curl into the hammer curl, working for 45 seconds, going in 3, 2, 1, and go. So starting off, we're doing bicep curls first. So we're going to curl up, palms up, and then switch those hands, palms face each other into that hammer curl. So these are going to work different areas of the bicep. So the bicep has 2 heads. So this is going to work both of them. So the hammer curl works one and the regular curl works the other. Really important to keep those wrists nice and straight all the way up, all the way down. If we start to bend the wrists like this, it's going to be more forearm. We want to take our forearm out of that, just use the bicep. So keep those wrists nice and straight. Pulling up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our lateral raises. So palms are going to face out. Hands stay on the outside of our legs the whole time. Drive those elbows up like we've breaking that glass at our shoulder. 3, 2, 1. So coming up. Again, driving those elbows so we can have a slight bend in the elbow. I also do like to come a little bit slightly out in front with those hands. Another thing that does help really make sure we're getting that side part of the shoulder is if you go out, but you also act like you're reaching towards the walls next to you. So reach out, bringing those dumbbells just to parallel, keep them outside of the legs. We're gonna get that constant tension. So we're gonna get some nice engagement all through the entire muscles of the shoulder. 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh, I did those on my lift before. Arms are still sore. All right. Next up, we're going to do overhead presses. So we're going to do both dumbbells at the same time, starting with those dumbbells at the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. So again, keeping those wrists nice and straight all the way up, all the way down. We want our butt to belly button, so our core is nice and tight. Elbows are slightly in front. We start to bring our elbows out too far, that puts too much stress on the joints. We have slightly in front, coming up and back down. At that starting position, our elbows, if we drop our elbows too far down, we risk again putting our shoulders in a not very comfortable position, at risk for injury. So we want to make sure that we are leaving those elbows slightly below the shoulders, dumbbells just above those shoulders. 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh my goodness, my arms are already dead. Okay. Next up, we have V-ups coming on the ground. Again, we can lay all the way out, extending arms and legs, coming up, touching those toes. 3, 2, 1. So belly button into the ground, coming up and back down. Yep, that's definitely not working for me today with my neck. So alternative here, extend those legs out and come back up. So you can have those hands slightly behind you, exhaling, using that core. So whether we're doing the straight up and down ones or these modified version, whichever one we're doing, we really do want to pull through the core, moving nice and slow. Engaging that core, we want to push that belly button into our spine. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we're moving into the lower body. We have our 3-second eccentric squats. So holding that dumbbell underneath the chin. 3, 2, 1. So our feet are hip width apart here. Core is nice and tight. Going nice and slow down, push the ground away, power up. So we have 1, 2, 3, pushing and coming up. So we want that heel, big toe, little toe. That's going to activate our glutes the way we want them to be activated. Turn this way for a second. Letting those knees track past the second toe. Chest is nice and tall. Core is tight, so that back is nice and flat. driving the ground away. So if we go up a little bit too slow, our hips tend to lead the movement. We really want the glutes to be leading the movement. So we're going nice and slow down, powering up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our Romanian deadlifts. 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. So this one's going to be nice and slow the whole time. 3, 2, 1. So we're bringing butt to belly button. Chest is open. Our back is nice and flat. Push the door closed with your butt. And we're doing 3 up, 3 down. So we have 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So same thing as with the squats. We're pushing our heel, big toe, little toe into the ground, coming up. So it's really easy to kind of come back on those heels. Instead, we really want to push the ground away the whole time with that whole foot, really engaging with the floor. 3, 2, 1. All right. That was the end of round 1. That went super fast. All right. So we're going to start at the top with our curls to hammer curls. 3, 2, 1. So palms up first, and then palms face each other. I really just could not do a themed workout for today because I am super Irish. Well, I'm actually more German than I am Irish, but gotta celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So we're coming out again, making sure those wrists are staying nice and straight. Also really important to keep that pelvis tucked through the movement. If we also start to feel ourselves rocking back and forward to get the weight up, the weight is too heavy. We really want to control it on the way up, control down. 3, 2, 1. All right. Up next, we have lateral raises, or raising those arms out to the side, pinkies up towards the ceiling. So palms are going to face behind us. 3, 2, 1. So we're standing up nice and tall. Core is engaged. We're bringing that butt to the belly button, locking that in. We're driving those elbows up like we have a plane of glass, reaching across our shoulders all the way out to the side. Break that glass with those elbows. Elbows are driving the movement. Extend those arms out like we're reaching to the walls next to us. It's really going to help us engage the side part of our delt here. And then again, keeping those arms ever so slightly in front. We don't want to go all the way up to the side. It does not feel good on the shoulders even trying that. 3, 2, 1. All right. Those ones really, though, if you didn't know, those are my favorite movement to do. Next, we have our overhead presses. So starting with those dumbbells right over the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. So elbows, 45-degree angles. So keeping them slightly in front. Wrists are nice and straight. Dumbbells almost touching the shoulders without our elbows dropping. So if our dumbbells are come to those shoulders and our elbows drop, again, we're making it a little bit tougher on those joints. So we want to stop right above those shoulders, but keep those elbows slightly below the shoulders, not deep below the shoulders. I guess we'll just say that. I don't know what words are today. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have V-ups here. So extending all the way out and back. I think what I'm going to do is just do the leg part this time. 3, 2, 1. So this is still a V-up, but more of a leg raise, touching the toes. I think this is, I feel this more in the core than the other way I was doing the V-ups. Then this way, we can still not aggravate the neck. Do not want to make anything in the upper body angry today. one small tweak ends in a nice big migraine. So we're not doing that today. Keep that belly button pressed into the ground. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. All right. I think those ones definitely felt better. Got to get that core work in today. All right. Next up, we have our goblet squats, 3 seconds down. So holding that dumbbell right underneath the chin. 3, 2, 1. So we're going down 1, 2, 3. Push the ground away, stand back up. So if you notice here, so the knees are going right over the second toe. So we have a nice straight line there. Knees are slightly out, but I'm not pushing my knees out. I'm just letting them fall there. Push the ground away, stand back up. Oh, that was very much so shifted towards my right leg. Wow. Really important, keep that pelvis tucked. So butt to belly button, chest is nice and open. So it's like we're showing our logo off. Keeping that core tight. Breathing as we come up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last part of round 2, we're going to do our Romanian deadlifts. 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. Get ready here. 3, 2, 1. Keep everything nice and tight. 3 seconds down and 3 seconds up. We want to stop the movement when our hips stop moving back. So if we let our chest go further down than our hips, we run the risk of using our low back to come back up. So kind of trying to get just to parallel with the chest. Push those hips back, push the ground away. So I really want us to think about pushing the ground away versus pulling the weight up. We want our arms to be nice and loose. 3, 2, 1. All right, and round 2 is done. We've got one more to go. And we're gonna start off with our curl to hammer curl. 3, 2, 1. So coming up, palms up, and then face them together, coming in. Nice and slow. It does help too if we keep our core tight. So if we really engage that core, so if we, flex that core, or we, try and pull our belly button towards the spine, that's what I like to imagine is really just pushing it in or pulling it in using our core muscles. That's going to help us have a nice foundation to pull from. So when things get hard, might not be applicable in this movement, but maybe we have heavier weights or presses or something. When we use the core, we can pull the weight a little bit easier. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up we have our lateral raises. Coming out to the side, pretending like we got that plane of glass all the way across. 3, 2, 1. So with these two, I know I've only been talking about the shoulders today, but it is really important to pretend like you have an orange here, squeeze it, or crack an egg. So keeping that upper back nice and tight. Sometimes I like to squeeze through my armpits and then reach up, because then that really engages our shoulders a little bit better and really takes other muscles out of the movement that might tend to take over. Great job. Still keeping that core tight. Use that core to pull those arms up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, overhead presses. So hands at the shoulders. I almost said elbows at the shoulders. Hands at the shoulders, elbows slightly below. 3, 2, 1. So keeping that core nice and tight. Wrists are straight, just like with the bicep curls. Really keep that core nice and tight. It does help if we exhale as we push up. That also does help with keeping that core engaged. As with the bicep curls, really making sure that we're staying nice and tall throughout. if we start to feel ourselves using momentum or even coming up, arching the back like that, that means that weight is a little bit too heavy. So we're going to drop that down, control the weight up, control the weight down. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are done with the upper body movements today. Next up, we have our V-ups. So either lifting that upper body off the ground or modifying it, keeping that whole body on the ground. 3, 2, 1. So push that belly button into the ground. Exhale, bring those feet up. Keeping our quads nice and loose. Sometimes I find that if we have our feet flexed or those heels pointed towards the ceiling, for me at least, it engages my quads a little bit more than I need them to be or I want them to be. So keeping those feet relaxed, relax our legs. Exhale, use the core. Great job, we're pushing through, finishing strong, almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right. 2 more movements here. We have our goblet squats. We're going 3 seconds down. So holding that dumbbell underneath the chin. 3, 2, 1. So we're going down 1, 2, 3. Push the ground, come back up. So butt to belly button, core is nice and tight. Shoulder blades pinch together. So crush that orange, squeeze the orange, crack the egg, whatever works better. And then keep that chest nice and proud. Keep that core engaged. Exhaling as we come up. Pushing the ground away. Great job. We're almost there, finishing strong. They're definitely harder after already doing them today. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with those. My quads are saying thank you for being done. We have our RDLs for our last movement. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. So butt to belly button. Crack that egg, squeeze the orange between those shoulder blades. So right about here. Really focusing on pushing the ground away. That definitely helps save the low back. Really pushing through the heel, big toe, little toe. That's going to engage those glutes. Going nice and slow. So we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Probably going to get through one more RDL here. 3, 2, 1. That is going to be our whole workout for the day. Nice job. Go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And we're going to go ahead and make our way onto the ground on our hands and knees today. I know I sat on my butt, but we're on the hands and knees. And we're going to do quad rocks, but we're also going to do that nice adductor stretch. And I'm going to add a third thing in here today. So what we're going to do is as we inhale and rock back, bring the glutes towards the heels. So my right leg is out to the side. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to exhale, reach through in between the left arm, left leg, and then plant the hand and return to center. So it's kind of a 2-part movement. So we're inhaling and then exhaling, reaching through. We want to reach a little further each time. This is going to really help open up our spine, our back, and our hips. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 more. So inhaling and exhaling. And returning our hand back. And last one. Reaching a little further every time. And then returning back to our hands and knee. And then we'll go ahead and once we finish that last one, we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So I started with my right leg. Now I'm going to go with my left leg. Same concept here. So core nice and tight. Inhale, rock back. And exhale, reach through. And then plant the hand, return to center. We're going to do 3 more. Getting some nice rotation through the spine. It's also going to help us stretch and open up our upper back. So we have 2 more. And returning to center. And last one. And returning hand. Bring the knee back in. And that is going to be it for our cool down. We did shorter cool down and warm up because we did multiple movements in one. So gets the job done. But